Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Thursday weather update as we take a look at the long weekend weather, Mataraki, and the start of July, which is on Monday. And we've got a big low coming in for Monday itself. Let's kick off with Thursday's animated wind map. You can see the low pressure zone to the north that was a storm is now finally starting to weaken. But because there is all this high pressure around it, it's kind of cradling it like a ball in a cup, and it's just sitting there. It can't really move at the moment until this big giant high pressure zone starts to move away. So that's just going to slowly fall apart over the next couple more days. Down here, there's an even larger pool of low pressure, and that's about to come into Australia as a big wintry blast around about Sunday, Monday, and then that comes over to New Zealand straight after that. So there is a lot going on, and by the way, it's not all low pressure. There is an enormous area of high pressure coming in. It looks as though that'll be for next weekend, or at least at some point next weekend. So let's try and make sense of it all. There is a cold front coming into New Zealand overnight tonight into Friday morning. Ahead of it, there is this cloudy weather, but that's the main rain band. I'm going to animate Friday now, and you'll see that front moving up, and now we go into Saturday, and it falls apart as it moves into the North Island. So in the early hours here of Sunday morning, that front not doing a huge amount as it moves up the North Island, but it will bring a bit of cloud and showers as it does so. And then more cloud comes back into the lower South Island on Sunday morning, and that's ahead of this new wintry change that is building in Australia. So here we are at lunchtime on Friday on Mataraki. There is the low pressure zone out to the east, still driving in a little bit of a southeasterly wind and some showers. And of course, the seas are still going to be rough as that system pumps big swells along the eastern side. The big high pressure zone is still nearby as well, but there is a bit of a change here with that weak front coming through, drives in some heavier rain over in Westland and Fiordland and a few showers over here in the east. And yes, there'll be a bit of snow in the mountains and ranges as well. Lunchtime on Saturday, the southerly coming into Wellington. Here is the cold front, just clearing Taranaki, moving into Waikato and Auckland later on. It's not going to deliver very much. And the good news is if you're over here in the east, maybe just a couple of showers spilling over as it falls apart and moves northwards. Otherwise, there's really not a lot to talk about on Saturday, but it might be a bit cloudy for some of you in the north of New Zealand. Into Sunday, the high is up here to the north. The wintry change, that is now hitting Tasmania and the Australian Alps. They're going to be seeing snow all around there. In fact, I said in my Australian video yesterday, Thredbo, the ski village, +1 and a low of -1 as we go into Monday, and snow all around there. This system is going to move to New Zealand, but before it does, we get the windier nor'westers, and for the North Island, especially over here on the eastern side, that will be sunnier and milder. It will really help dry things out after the weather you've just had. So Monday, the 1st of July, welcome to proper winter. I mean, winter has already started, but July's weather is usually the start of winter, and as a weather point of view, and you can see this big southerly into Australia, Adelaide all the way over to Sydney, a number of their main centres are affected by that really cold change. But we're on the warmer side of it, well, yeah, warmer, with a nor'west wind coming out of the subtropics. So for some of you in the North Island, it will be warm on Monday, but the South Island will be feeling that colder air, especially if you're down in Southland and coastal Otago, where you've got a windy, cold southeasterly coming in off the sea. Now here on Tuesday, we finally get the southerly change coming into the country, into the South Island. It's messy though. The North Island's got nor'westers and westerlies, not quite as cold. The South Island have that wintry air now coming out of the Australia region and clearly coming out from Antarctica. So temperatures are down on Tuesday as that moves through. Wednesday, classic July weather. Southwesterly winds, generally speaking, a southerly in Wellington, showers all around the place. It will feel like it is winter, but there'll be big, large, dry areas as well. It is not a day of rain for most places. And now all eyes are on this big high. As we come to our final map here on Thursday of next week, 1 week from today, the colder change in New Zealand starting to ease back. The high is moving in. The airflow doesn't really change a lot, but the origins of where that air is coming from, that does. So it's now coming out from Australia and around and into New Zealand, rather than being dredged up from way down towards Antarctica. This high, look at it, stretches all the way up to the tropics, to Darwin. It goes all the way down, well down to the Southern Ocean and around the icebergs down there. So this is a big, big system, and we think it'll be coming into New Zealand by about Sunday of next week, July the 7th. And as it does so, though, there'll be a few showers in the west here, as you can see on Thursday. Most places are dry. And so we are going to be going back into a more settled period. I think July can be summed up with the word big. Big lows, big highs, big changes as we move through the next 3 or 4 weeks. And speaking of that, before I go, ClimateWatch. That is back on Monday, the 1st of July. We'll be taking a look at the next 3 or 4 weeks ahead to try and get a feeling for just what happens after that high comes on through into our second week of July. That is all from me. Have a great Matariki, have a great weekend. Don't forget, if you need a cloud forecaster, visit the trends area of our new Weather Watch app, or you can just go to ruralweather.co.nz. And we literally built the cloud forecaster for people who are stargazing, mainly for the auroras down around the South Island. But now it's got, can use it for all sorts of other things, and it's got a fog forecaster in there as well. So if you are planning on looking up at the skies, having a look at the stars, take a look at those cloud maps first, or cloud graphs, I should say, to help see what the weather will be like for you. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.